Sources are telling CBS News that EPA employees are facing high temperatures and difficult working conditions at the agency's headquarters in Washington. Over the last 3 week, issues with the air conditioning have sent temperatures well over 80 degrees. Other problems include malfunctioning elevators, with some suddenly dropping and others getting stuck between floors with people on them. One group of employees was even relocated to a basement near a firing range where federal law enforcement officials practice shooting. Just remarkable to hear that. CBS News senior White House reporter Jennifer Jacobs joins us now with more on her reporting with all of this. Jennifer, thank you very much for being with us. These conditions, they go beyond unpleasant. They are just flat out unsafe, according to these accusations. Some staffers think that this is a ploy to get them to resign. What more are you hearing?
Right, Nancy. So it's important to understand the context, and that is that last month, dozens of EPA employees wrote a letter to EPA leadership complaining, criticizing some of the Trump administration policies. And in reaction to that, the EPA leadership put about 140 of them on administrative leave. So I was told several career officials have been discussing amongst themselves the theory that could some of these building issues, these maintenance problems, et cetera, be deliberate? Is this another mechanism by the Trump administration to try to maybe induce more of them to voluntarily resign? Because as we know, reducing the federal workforce has been a goal of the administration. Now, the administration told CBS that that is not the case, that this is not some sort of effort aimed at the career staff, that this is an issue tied to old buildings and delayed maintenance. The previous administration relied more on work from home habits. This administration is more requiring people to come into the office. So the administration is trying to catch up on some of that maintenance that wasn't done during the previous administration.
So they're saying it's not a part of a strategy to try to force people out, but are they responding to these issues in terms of fixing them and addressing them?
Right. Well, some of the staff told CBS that they wish that the administration would do it more quickly. But so for the third week in the row, there's been problems with the air conditioning. So temperatures have risen to 80 degrees, 83 degrees, 84 degrees with a humidity level of 60% and higher. So it's pretty steamy. Now, with the elevator issues, that unreliable elevator, the people told us that there are women currently working at EPA who are pregnant right now. So they, like other workers, have to face whether to hop on an elevator that could potentially trap them in it, or suddenly plunge, which has happened, or they need to walk up many, many flights of stairs to get to their office. Now, the administration told us that they ordered the new parts for the elevator to fix it 4 months ago, but they were told that it will take 18 months for the parts to come in. Now, on the air conditioning, they say they're working on that. They're trying to get that going. Some of my sources told me today it's still toasty in the buildings at EPA. And then on the firing range, there was a set of workers who were relocated next to a basement firing range. It's one of many gun ranges where federal law enforcement officials go to practice shooting. Now, the EPA is full of experts on environmental hazards, and they were concerned about lead levels in the air. Now, the administration told me that there was, yes, a problem with lead levels, but that the Biden administration did do abatement work. So the administration says, hey, we're trying to fix some of this, but in the meantime, the working conditions for some of those folks at EPA are still pretty uncomfortable.
Yeah, a toasty July indeed. Jennifer Jacobs, thank you very much.